Is the Discover 125 ST. Both the Discover and the Pulsar brands, Bajaj has built them up into these individual icons. They've matured very, very interestingly, because what you're seeing in terms of Discover now as a new family language, if you will call it that, is a bike that looks a little bit grown up, a little bit more muscular, a little bit like what the first Pulsar used to look like. So you've got a lot more muscle here in the fuel tank. The Pulsar family itself, though, is getting edgier and getting sportier, a little bit more dynamic, lots of sharp lines. That is an interesting evolution, because both are now trying to create this distinct identity of being the practical commuter, which has a little bit of extra oomph to it, and the very sporty, very aggressive, hyper kind of a bike. But we will talk more about these bikes in great detail. I know you want to hear everything about, especially this one, looking great in this signature new yellow. But there's a brand new bike that's coming to the market right now, and we don't want to wait on this one. It is also in the 125cc class, the Phoenix from TVS. It's been a while since we had any news on the new model front from TVS Motor. In fact, it's high time, really. So we welcome the 125cc Phoenix. Now the 125cc Flame stays on in the market alongside the Phoenix. I like the fact that TVS has gone bold with this design. You're seeing a little hint of the RTR styling characteristic coming through, which I think is a good thing, because with a company like TVS or a brand like that, you need to establish lineage. I think that's something that's been missing as far as the larger point is concerned for a lot of the Indian bikes. That's starting to show through here. Nice use of decals. This 125 especially works. And, you know, a little throw towards technology as well, saying that, look, we've got our own new kind of engine branding. And even the digital cluster, I think that part works quite well for me, because it makes the bike look modern, makes it look contemporary and appeal, perhaps, to the younger buyer. It's also a shorter wheelbase, which we think helps enhance the bike's agility on the road. The overall ride is, in fact, the Phoenix's USP. The EcoThrust engine is new, says TVS, and not a rehashed Flame engine. The high-capacity clutch is also a strength. And the good news is that the engine is without vibration for the most part. Another indication of how much TVS has matured as a bike maker. The Phoenix offers quick pickup and smooth gear shifts, though we have to say that the 4-speed gearbox left us wanting. This motor really needs a 5-speed transmission, and while TVS may have opted to go 4-speed for higher efficiency, the 5-speed may be a good long-term consideration. Handling, though, is the real highlight of this bike. TVS claims that the Phoenix offers 67 km per litre. The bike is priced at just above 50,000 rupees. It's being rolled out nationwide as we speak. So definitely looking like a very capable, very strong product from TVS after quite a while. And you know what? Frankly, the company needs that. The 125cc Flame didn't fire up the market, and it needs the Phoenix to rise from the ashes, as its name suggests. Now, enough about this bike. I know you're all dying to know more about the Pulsar NS. Pulsar is a brand name that has basically established the Pune-based two-wheeler maker's reputation. Each iteration of the Pulsar has been popular, powerful and punchy. And yes, the idea is very clear. Each bike that carries this name must pulsate with testosterone.
Motorcycle of the Year goes to Bajaj Pulsar 220 DTS-fied. Congratulations.
Heartiest congratulations once again to Bajaj Pulsar. Heartiest congratulations.
After developing the family from the earliest 150s and 180s to the more recent 135, we can see a fine maturation in the NS or Naked Sport. The bike is aggressive but still carries cues and hints from previous Pulsars, so you know it's a clear descendant. Edgy, dynamic, raw and very sharp. I think that's the best way to describe the 200 NS, and it's a very intentional design sort of a strategy from Bajaj, because the idea is to take the Pulsar into a different plane, establish it as a very strong sporting brand, and of course now the thing that I can't help but think about is what happens to the rest of the Pulsar family from here on. I can't wait. And that's because the design team has been very focused and has tried to create a definite new identity, something that we're now starting to see more of in the motorcycle segments here in India. And frankly, barring Yamaha, the Japanese brigade needs to step up on this front too. Let's talk about the ride. Put the bike into first gear and you get an almost organic response. There is an almost intuitive feel, in fact, that the bike gives you as it responds to your touch, even if you push it in one gear to its rev limiter. The digital console is pretty neat too. Well, there is an effortless sense of power, especially the delivery of power that you get on the NS. I have to say that the sense of stability and balance that goes along with that is perhaps what's most impressive to me. And that is the big highlight. Handling on the Pulsar 200 NS has got to be perhaps the current benchmark in our market. The bike maintains its composure on corners and is an absolute pleasure, responding to your every need. And it's fast. The 200 NS is in some ways similar to this bike, the Duke 200. But while they share the basic engine, the tuning and character are very different. In fact, the Pulsar seems like the way easier to ride bike by comparison, with the Duke maintaining an edgier, harder feel. Both bikes are street fighters to the core and are welcome additions to our market, but the Duke shall remain niche, not just because of a higher price. The Pulsar 200 NS is likely to be the product that once again moves Bajaj Auto to the next level here in India and in its expanding export markets too. So it's certainly one of the standout launches of this year, no doubt about that. Perhaps one of the strongest products from Bajaj in a very long time as well. And it's a bike that you want to keep on riding. It's a lot of fun. And you know what? I'm going to probably sneak in one more ride as you take a look at our sector snapshot. Take a short break. I promise to come back with more details on the new Discover 125 ST. Welcome back to CNB. Now we talk about the other Bajaj bike on the program today. This one is a bike that the company is calling a tourer. So the idea being higher comfort levels for longer durations on the bike. I am going to put that claim to the test and tell you all about how this is different from the previous 125cc Discover. Like the Pulsar, the Bajaj Discover family has also grown significantly with the second generation from the 100 to 150cc space. The 125cc Discover was always the most popular, but now it's an all-new generation that we seem to be headed into with the arrival of the ST. Now that's sports tourer, by the way, which means Bajaj is trying to attract those who have a longer commute and need a comfortable, practical yet stylish ride to make that commute. It's got more flamboyant, that's for sure, but the first time I looked at this bike, I had this sort of a sense of deja vu. There's something in there that reminds me of the first generation Pulsar. Can't quite put my finger on it. Of course, there is a lot more muscle and yet a more sculpted look, especially in this area, that you can pick up very quickly. It's not as edgy or raw looking as the Pulsar family has become now, and so there's a good distinction in that sense between Discover and Pulsar, which is always there. But the point being that this has gotten a little bit more oomph now too, which I'm pretty sure will translate to the rest of the Discover family as we go ahead. The bike has certain elements that I feel will carry over to future Discovers, even with differing displacement. The fuel tank, this 4-valve badging. The engine is similar to the older 125 DTSI, but there are differences. Those 4 valves per cylinder for starters, and corrugated fins instead of lateral ones, which aid in reducing engine heat and increasing output by 15%. So expect those changes to also carry over to future Discovers. The instrument cluster is adequate, though not impressive, and it lacks a tachometer, which I feel is a sore point. Given the bike's performance, the rev counter would have been pretty helpful. So that's what you seem to get with this package. A bike that's fun to ride, that's nimble, and where overall vibrations seem to have gone down. The refinement over the previous 125 DTSI are also evident, with a very responsive engine and good power delivery. Handling is also good, and maneuverability is the highlight, something city riders will appreciate. The claim of being a tourer may be a bit of a stretch, as conventional tourers are more in the cruiser range in terms of shape and size. But having said that, the comfort levels on this bike are staggeringly good. Good ride position means that you can maintain a good posture and feel no strain on the lower back over long distances. So this bike is a welcome addition to the segment, and I hope it will only mean that the intense rivalry in this space will then result in better, sharper and more dynamic products in the near future. Plenty of two-wheelers on the program today, but let's quickly just briefly move into the four-wheeler space and talk about our CNB Viewers Choice Car of the Year 2012. It was the Hyundai Verna. Nikhil Mangsule was the lucky winner, and he is in Bangalore with my colleague Bala to take delivery of his brand new car.
After a long bus ride from Hyderabad, 27-year-old Nikhil Mangsule is headed straight from the bus stop to the Hyundai showroom with his dad. As winner of the CNB Viewers Choice Car 2012, he can't hide his excitement as he will soon be the proud owner of a brand new Hyundai Verna. The car, of course, was the overall NDTV Car of the Year. This brand new crystal white 1.4 petrol Hyundai Verna is what awaits Nikhil here at the Advait showroom here on Residency Road. Now, the Verna itself has been a runaway success for Hyundai, and it'll clearly be worth the wait for Nikhil. Members of Nikhil's family, besides his father, have also come to share his joy, equally eager to see the car. Nikhil is all ears to the extensive briefing by the showroom staff on the Verna and the various features that the car boasts. Nikhil says this is a dream come true for him and says the Verna's fluidic looks are his favorite part of the car.
The main thing about this car is it's classy and stylish at the same time, and probably this is one of my dream cars when I started to work, and owning it right now is a dream come true for me. It is quite zippy, and at the same time the performance of the engine has been good. I've heard this from my family friends as well. And at the same time, the looks are just beyond doubt. The new fluidic one is just beyond my imagination.
Ironically, Nikhil is yet to learn how to drive, and so the Hyundai staff offered to show him how the Verna performs on the roads of Bangalore. So Nikhil's all set to take his new car for a little spin, and I'm sure he'll be heading to the driving lessons very soon to enjoy the Verna experience himself. Nikhil can't wait to take the Verna home and show it off to his friends and family. Here's wishing him the best of luck and hope we see him in the driver's seat very soon.
So we're very happy for Nikhil and his family, and we wish them all the best with their new car. Now, as I mentioned earlier, lots of bikes on the program today, but 2012 has pretty much been the year of the scooters. There's been so many new launches. The Dio came back in a new avatar. You've had the Maestro from Hero, and of course, you've also had the Swish from Suzuki. And then Yamaha finally stepping into the scooter space as the company promised at the Auto Expo. So we've got the Ray with us. We'll show you the detailed review of this scooter on the program next week. Write and react to what you've seen today, and as always, remember, please wear your helmets, and of course wear your seatbelts as well, and please don't use your cell phone when you're driving. Bye-bye.
So Sebastian Vettel may have won the Indian Grand Prix, but most Indian fans have their eyes on the man next to me, Narain Karthikeyan. Narain, 21st, run us through your race.
Well, quite a difficult race for us, for our car. Into the turn 3 first lap, I got squeezed by one Marussia and a Caterham and lost part of my front wing. So from then we had an imbalance in the chassis, the handling.
Throughout this Grand Prix, we've had big name drivers like Lewis Hamilton and then Bernie Ecclestone, and even now we heard David Coulthard a short while ago said that Narain can only show his potential if he's given a better car, and he deserves a better car. Does it make you feel really wanted here in the F1 circuit?
Yeah, I'm so happy that Bernie and David Coulthard, my teammate, all have supported me. Lewis Hamilton, so to get into a faster car, and I really hope I can get a chance to show the true potential of me and what I can do, and for India as well. I mean, in India people want winners, and I believe I can be very competitive. Obviously, we need under me, I need a competitive car.
You are a sports freak and you follow sports very closely. Is Formula One one of them?
Honestly, no. I like the fact that it has come to India. I like I think it puts you on the world map, and sometimes I think nations need that to be able to go beyond themselves. So I think it's very interesting. It's very cool. It's very happening. It's got it's all fast, furious, sexy, and really amazing. But I find it very noisy, and I find it too fast. I don't know who's going where. I've been given the opportunity by Tag Heuer many times to go down into the pit and see the cars, how they're made. The working of it is amazingly scientific and fantastic. It's mind-boggling that how can people change the tires in 4 seconds or 5 seconds, and how they set up the whole machine. It genuinely is a huge understanding of man and machine, coming together to create this outstanding, completely over-the-top experience of adrenaline.
Any particular driver you would be rooting for?
I think now Button we will be rooting for. He works with Tag. And Senna would be an extreme favorite. And of course, Schumacher.
And it's the last race, so does it make it special?
Yeah, I think he's a special sportsman. I think Schumacher is one of the greatest sportsmen the world has ever experienced and seen. Right up there with Sachin Tendulkar and Tiger Woods and all the greats, and Usain Bolt and Carl Lewis. So yeah, it's very special to see his last race.
And lastly, one F1 driver you think would look perfect in Bollywood?
Yeah, I guess Jenson Button will be nice. Yeah, they all look quite cool actually. They all look nice and fit and handsome. I mean, at least in the helmet. Yeah, but okay, yeah. Jenson Button. Yeah, I think yeah, he'll be able to do a Bollywood dance.
India's #1 news app just got even better. Download NDTV's new app. Fully optimized for retina display. Full screen view. Faster response time. And Sudoku. NDTV's new iPad app. Download now.